Hi everybody. Where it is the very first lecture of my playlist, okay, in which we will be saying the simple fundamentals first of all, that what actually all about the SOM, the strength of materials, and what is stress and strain and all those things, right? So in this part, we will see that what actually are the stresses, okay. So you don't have to take the stress upon your mind, okay. So it's all about the stress upon the materials in which the forces are being applied, the external forces are being applied out there, and we have to see that what is the response or the reaction of the metal to those external forces, okay. So here we are going to start with that. So where does strength of material in short in short we say that SOM come from, okay. Well, you might have studied engineering mechanics, and I hope that you all are very well expert at this subject, engineering mechanics, okay. I will tell only one thing in that, right? If we keep the body at rest, okay, well, first of all, why the body would be at rest? Because all the forces acting on it are in equilibrium, right? It means that the weight which is acting downwards is being balanced by the normal reaction, right? That's simple one. Suppose if I apply a force out here, say F, right? It will move in that direction of the F, right? If I want to get it balanced, the force of the same magnitude but of the opposite direction will be applied of the same magnitude, so it will be also F. So F and F will get cancel each other, and the body will set to be in the static equilibrium. That's fine. Okay, nice. Forces are being balanced, the body will be in static equilibrium, and the body will not move. The forces got cancel each other, right? Okay, fine. Now what after that? Hmm? भाई फोर्सेस के भाग में तो सिर्फ ये था नहीं कि वो आपस में बैलेंस हो जाए और कहानी आपका खत्म हो जाए. What after that? The forces are being balanced. Okay, where does it go now? What is the effect in the material due to the application of these forces? क्योंकि हमने फोर्सेस लगाया है, इतना पावर अपना जो है देकर, तो ऐसा तो है नहीं कि बिल्कुल इट विल गो वेस्ट, राइट? ओके, in that case, what we do, we find out that what is the effect of this force on the internal structure of this metal, means internal structure of this metal, right? Okay, so what happens that, suppose this is the block on which we have applied a force F, right? The body माना कि इक्विलिब्रियम में है, but yet the body will tend to deform as per the nature of the force. I will write that sentence out here. The body will tend to deform as per the nature of the force. Okay, nature of the force, right? Now I'm saying that why I've used the word nature of the force. Nature means it can be your tensile or compressive, राइट, इट माइट बी शेयर ऑल्सो. अब ये सब क्या है, ये सब चीजें मैं आपको बाद में जो बताऊंगा, ठीक है. अभी nature of the force, it can be found in three ways. The first one is say, I will say in very short form, T, that is C, and that is S, right? For T stand the tensile force, C stands for the compressive force, and S stands for the shear force. TCS, wow, that's a nice name, TCS. Good. Okay, fine. So it is saying that the body will tend to change its shape as per the nature of the force. How will it change the shape, man? Okay. See, if we say T, the length of the body will tend to elongate it in the direction of the force, and the area of the cross section A will tend to decrease, right? In the same way, if we apply the compressive force on this one, here like this, the length of the body will tend to decrease and the area of the construction will increase. Yes. Shear, in shear, if I say I'm applying the force like this one, that will change the shape of the metal, but the volume will remain constant. Here, right, the volume will remain constant. The shape has been changed, but the volume will remain constant, right? So that is the shear force. It is being applied in the tangential direction. It is being applied in the tangential direction. Done? Okay, fine. So here we see that जहाँ पे इंजीनियरिंग मैकेनिक्स की सोच खत्म होती है वहाँ पे हमारा सोम शुरू होता है. अब यानी कि एक चीज़ आप ध्यान रख लीजिएगा बात वो कि इफ़ योर इंजीनियरिंग मैकेनिक्स इज नॉट गुड आपको सोम समझने में प्रॉब्लम होगी. ओके, सो आई अज्यूम दैट यू हैव गॉट that you are very well versed with this subject engineering mechanics, and you all might have got the Nobel Prize also in this, right? Okay, fine, good. So now we come to the next slide. So now we have learned that where does the strength of the material come from. Okay, fine. Stress, oh my god, really, what type of stress I am talking about? What type of stress I am talking about? Oh, red period ho gaya, huh? What type of stress I am talking about? Nice. Well, for your sake of just knowledge, I would like to state one thing that I've got a 9 years of experience in this field, in this subject also you can say so, right? And many of them I have asked that what actually is stress. They have told that sir जो mental जो अपने ऊपर force इतना लगता है हम एग्जाम के बारे में सोचते हैं ये वो, और आजकल तो ये कोविड-19 भी इतना फैला है कि हमारे ऊपर बहुत मेंटल स्ट्रेस है. सो दैट माइट बी यू आर आस्किंग दैट व्हाट इज स्ट्रेस. बोले यार ऑन हियरिंग दिस ये सोच के तो मुझे खुद भी स्ट्रेस हो रहा है. ठीक है, सो दैट एक्चुअली इज नॉट द stress. That stress we can say that's a part of the research in psychology, and you can say management. Okay, yes, but here we are dealing with the mechanical engineering. So in that case the stress is all about the reaction of forces when applied to metals. Fine. Now next, what are the concepts and what are the misconceptions in the same? That we will see now. What are the concepts and what are the misconceptions in the same, right? Okay, तो पहले ये देखिए कि ये देखिए ये वाला देखते हैं. चलो ठीक है. If I ask in the very first class, yes, what is stress? Sir, the force upon area is known as the stress. Okay, I will write it down. The force per unit area, they simply say force upon area is called stress. Okay. I say it's wrong. Then I will ask someone else. Yes, you tell me what is stress. Sir, we can say stress is at external force applied per unit area is called stress. Then very jokingly and humorously I will ask him that what is the difference between the stress and pressure, P and S. इनके बीच में क्या फर्क है? Then they used to make this type of hands movement. सर प्रेशर में क्या होता है कि फोर्स एक्सटर्नल अप्लाई हो रहा है और उससे होता है प्रेशर। और ये एक सर स्ट्रेस में भी फोर्स अप्लाई हो रहा है, लेकिन सर मतलब दोनों सर सेम से हैं, हम नॉट द सेम, इट्स समवॉट गॉट। ये इसमें जो डिफरेंस है, उसमें क्या डिफरेंस होता है? Pressure in this one, we always see that suppose we have got a fluid and external force is being applied in the compressive mode. External force is being applied in the compressive mode, right? Might be a fluid also, might be some surface force, right? And that force which is acting on a very small area, okay, very small area, that force upon area will give you the term pressure. Perfect. Right. Now, mathematically, if we see, then F upon A becomes this terms, it becomes equal to this stress. But it's not like that. It's wrong. It's not the same thing. Okay. तब इसके बीच में फर्क कहाँ पे आ रहा है? Where does the difference lie? Where does the difference lie? So we say that the pressure is force upon area, and stress is again they say that is force upon area. So we say this right, is wrong. इसमें क्या आएगा फर्क? Unit Newton per mm square or something else, you can say that force upon area. Here also Newton per mm square, these are same. लेकिन अभी भी इनके बीच में फर्क है। फर्क क्या आ रहा है? फर्क के लिए हम लोग आते हैं यहाँ पे, ठीक है? When we have applied the force out here, say F, right? Say F, right? A reactive force will start. A reactive force will be set up inside the body. Inside the body. अभी हमारी कहानी यहाँ तक खत्म नहीं हुई. That reactive force acting per unit area is called stress. Yes, wow, that's good. So we are not saying that this is the external force. Okay, the force is not the external. The force is not external. That is you can say taken under consideration. No, that is not the force which is taken under the consideration. We have to take the reactive force which comes into play, right? Okay, nice. Here we find another one sentence for it, that the reactive force that comes into play on the application of external force is called, what is called, man? Huh? No. That comes into play on the application of the external force. ठीक है? Acting per unit what? Cross sectional area. Yes, we have to use this word. Cross sectional area is called stress. Oh my god, that's good. See, we have to use two words out here. I would like to change the ink. My favorite color, blue. Okay, fine. We are saying the reactive force, this one's word, and that comes into play on the application of the external force and acting per unit area, per unit cross-sectional area. Yes, these two words, if I find in your sentence, then it will be treated as solely and wholly correct one for it, right? मैं concepts में था क्या? Same thing which I have told you, that simply we write force upon area, or some say that external force upon area, blah 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 blah. So all things is wrong. Okay, so this is the main thing that we have to follow, right? So I hope that you will not be making this grave mistake in the future. Okay. Oh my God, we have got a very large chart of these types of stresses, huh? Okay, fine. What we see in this one, that stress are of how many types, man? Direct stress, indirect stress, combined stress. This we will see afterwards. Okay. First of all, let us go with this direct and indirect one. Okay. Direct and indirect. Indirect stress, or we can say simple stress, right? And indirect stress means what happens that इनके बीच में फर्क क्या आ रहा है, ठीक है? Indirect stresses में क्या है? They are having they are having the nature of direct stresses, the nature of direct stresses, okay? But why they are called indirect? Because but the direct stresses, but the direct stresses are applied in different mode, in different मोड। सर ये क्या है? मतलब डायरेक्ट स्ट्रेसेस तो है ही, इनडायरेक्ट भी है, इनके बीच में फर्क आ कहाँ रहा है? मतलब समझ में नहीं आया मेरे, हैं? तो डायरेक्ट स्ट्रेसेस में ओके, लेट्स सी ये फर्दर so that our doubt will get cleared. So here we see that the direct stresses is again going to get bifurcated into two parts, the normal stress and the shear. Okay, अच्छा, normal अब क्या है? From the very word we know that normal stress is that the force is acting at a 90-degree angle, right? Okay, एक आपका जो है टेंसाइल और एक है कंप्रेसिव, या we have seen that suppose on the body the force is being applied like this, or suppose on the body the force is being applied like this, in one the length is being increased and in one the length is being decreased, and these forces are acting normally to it, so they might be called the normal, right? Okay, fine. And in shear, okay, shear means what? That one surface of the object is being fixed out here and the force is acting on the area but in the tangential direction, so that will cause the change of the shape of this object, and that is known as the shear stress. Okay, done. So if the mode of the forces are acting directly on a material like this, then we can say that the body is being subjected to the direct stresses. Okay, fine. Now we come to the indirect one, right? Okay, so torsional and bending. Here I want to make some modification in this one. Okay? Suppose what if I write the indirect shear stresses and indirect normal stresses. Wow. So if I say that indirect normal stresses, we have got the bending stress, and indirect shear stresses, we have got the torsional shear stress. Okay, so means that what? That we are not applying the force on it in the tangent direction in the shear, as in the direct shear, but we are applying some torsional force on it such that the stresses set up in the body will be equivalent to those of the direct shear stress. In the same case, we see in the bending stress also, right? Okay, how it is saying that it is having the same nature, same mode in which the direct stresses are being applied, that we will see in our next slide. Okay, and now we see for the combined stress. Combined stress I will explain you later, so please stay in tune with my playlist. Thank you very much. Now we come to the next. Okay, tensile stress. Wow, I've explained you that. Suppose we have take a rod means, if I am saying rod means it's cross-sectional area that will be circular. right? Okay, how? Because if you see from the front view, top view, and side view, from the front view and the top view, it will be always a rectangle, and if you see the side view of it, then it will be a circle. Okay, right? So this circle only represent the cross sectional area. Cross sectional area. Okay, nice. So now what is happening this one, that earlier your length is L, okay, and you are applying the tensile load on it, which will get the object to get elongate. So in that case, the length of the object will get increased, say L1, where L1 is more than L, right? Okay, fine. Now what happens to the area? Area, obviously baat hai man, the volume is to be kept constant. The volume is to be kept constant, and for that case the area should get decreased, so that when V is equal to A into L, right, V is equal to A into L, when L will get increased, then A should get decreased to keep it constant, right? In that case the area will be decreasing. Okay, so this type of stresses in which the body tends to elongate, so the stresses set up in the body is known as the tensile stress. Done. Okay, now we will see further what happens this. Yeah. Okay, suppose if I see the microscopic view of this object, right? If you see, if you take a section out here like this one, right, take a section here, right, this part, this section, if I take it from here, okay, slice, okay, force is acting on it one, right? इस वाले फोर्सेस के जो रिएक्शन में फोर्स आपका आएगा वो जाएगा इस तरफ, क्यों? बैलेंस करना है भाई, ठीक है? और इस वाले फोर्सेस के रिएक्शन में जो फोर्स आएगा वो जाएगा इस तरफ, फाइन, लाइकवाइज, ओके, मैग्नीफाइड वन, ठीक है? These are actually the reactive forces, reactive forces, right? And this and these reactive forces acting per unit cross sectional area is called stress. And since the force, the mode, the nature of the force is the tensile, so this is known as the tensile stress. Very easy, right? Now if you are told to find out the mathematical formulation for this one, so simply we can write sigma t. Sigma I used to denote for the stress, and sigma t I used to denote for the tensile stress. So that will be your P by A, where P is the load or the effort or the tensile load per unit cross sectional area. Per unit cross sectional area. Okay, done. Sorry for the day. Okay, now we go to the next slide. Compressive stresses. Wow. In the same way, the length of the body, say again I take a rod, because rod is one of my favorite object which I always use in explaining the SOM. Okay, so I'm sorry for this one, my drawing is very bad, very bad, very bad. Okay, so we are applying the compressive forces on this one such that the length is L, and after the length get decreased, the body, the new value of the length will become LF, right, where LF is less than L, very much less than 12 नहीं कहेंगे यार, LF is less than L, ठीक है, fine. And what about the area? Area has got increased. Why? Because you have to keep the volume constant, so area has got increased and the length has got decreased. Done. Again I take the same way. If I take a small cross section of this area such that इसके वजह से जो फोर्स आएगा वो आपका लगेगा इस तरफ टू गेट इट बैलेंस, और इसके वजह से फोर्स आएगा वो इस तरफ लगेगा, ठीक है? एंड दीज आर दी रिएक्टिव फोर्सेस which will acting per unit area and called as stresses. And since the mode of the force is compressive, so we can say that the compressive stresses are set up inside. Done? Okay, fine. Next, bending stress. Yes. Now we come to the indirect stress. One of the indirect stress. That is about your bending stress. Okay. What is this? Now, why is called the indirect stress? Indirect, sorry, it is called as the indirect normal stress. It will be having two things. First one is your, let it be very short T, and the compressive. I will be using the short form for this also because I like the short form C. Right. Now, I will explain you how it happens. So suppose this is the rod is, this is the rod, okay, and we have applied the force out here. The bending force being applied like this. Okay, sorry for this. The body will bend like this. Okay. Yes. This is the neutral axis. What are all this significance? I will be explaining it when I will start the bending chapter in SOM. Okay. So for the being time, I will be just explain you that why this indirect, why this is called as the indirect normal stress. Okay. So we see that this is the neutral axis. Okay. This is the neutral axis. Right. Right. We see that these fibers under the neutral axis are somewhat the lower fibers, the lower fibers are in compression mode, right? Are in compression mode. Hence, we can say that the compressive stresses are set up inside it. ठीक है, अभी तो ये बात थी सिर्फ हमारी लोअर फाइबर्स की. What about the upper fibers? Oh, I may change the thing for you all. Should we take this one? Okay. What are the upper fibers? What about these upper fibers? In upper fibers, the fibers are in tensile mode. Hence, we can say by flowing out here that the tensile stresses are set up in the upper fibers. So we see that in the same rod we are having both the types of stresses set up, right, which have been induced indirectly. Indirect normal stress, that is the bending, right? We have not applied any tensile force or we have not applied any compressive force, but we are just applying the bending force due to which both the stresses are being set up inside it. So that's why it is known as the indirect bending stress. Okay, for the simplification of the mathematical formulation, I will just state it which formula should we use in this one, right? But I will explain it afterwards in the bending chapter of SOM. Okay, so fine. The formula which we use in this one is mby by I. That will be your sigma b, where sigma b is the bending stress. Okay, mb is what? Bending moment. Now, for God's sake, don't tell me that you don't know this bending moment, right? This is F, and suppose this is the point of fix, the point where the body is fixed, and this is L. So bending moment. So bending moment means MB is nothing but your F into L, right? I hope that you know this thing. Y is what? Distance of the outermost fiber from the neutral axis, right? If suppose if we take this one as a neutral axis, where we see that no stresses are being generated, and hence it is known as the neutral fiber, right? And this part and this fiber 1 and this fiber 2 both are at the same distance from here. That is what is known as the Y. You can either take fiber 2 or you can take either fiber 1. Okay, so that is Y. Okay, fine. And this is what I hope that you know about this one, moment of inertia. Fine. Next, torsional shear stresses. Wow, very simple. Again, I will take a rod. Generally, the rod are having the cross-sectional area circular. Torsion force is being applied. Means the force which will make the body to get, yes, it's twisted. Yes, fine. So it's the mode in which the body is being subjected to torque, T torsion. Okay, and we see here that this fiber out here has been transformed by an angle to here. Likewise, all the fibers will move the same path, right? Okay, and if we assume that each section of it, मतलब अगर आप इसको कई भागों में काट दो, suppose this is a cake, right? And you are celebrating your happy birthday, and if you are going to get it cut into several parts, and each part is put on that table like this, okay, and we are going to get them combined, then they will form a rod. Okay, on the application of the torque, this one layer 1 is a layer 2 will try to slide upon each other, right? रगड़ खाते हैं ऐसे, ठीक है? They tend to slide upon each other. Likewise, layer 3, layer 4, layer 5. This layer 2 will slide upon layer 3. The slide layer 3 and 4 will mutually slide upon each other, right? So in a way, we can say that they are exerting the force in the tangential direction, right? So we can write out here that they are exerting force in the tangential direction, right? So it's the way in which the torsional shear stresses are being set up inside the whole body on the application of the torque. Okay, now I will come to the mathematical formula of it. We write simply mtr by j is equal to tau r, where tau r is the torsional shear stresses and mt is what is the torsional moment, and r is the radius, and j is the polar moment of inertia. That's all for the day. Thank you very much. I hope that you might have learned a lot. Please stay tuned to my playlist. I will be uploading more videos for your knowledge and enhancement. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.